Hello. Hello. I was literally just on live, but my Wi-Fi cut out. I don't know why my Wi-Fi just cut out, but I'm back. Hello. Hello. I'm doing good. Hello. Welcome back if you were just on my last live. Um, what was I? Oh, I was telling a story, like a money manifestation story. Hello, if you're coming back from my last live, I'm back. Where was I with my manifestations? Oh, so one of my clients, she ended up winning a large sum of money from a like horse racing bet thing, way more than she had anticipated because someone else had bet money and they ended up losing. And so she got to take home those, that bet money. And yeah, it was way more than what she thought. And um, she decided to give me a very nice tip. Like I was saying in my last live, it was very generous of her. But I want to say that because money is constantly flowing to me, it's because I've shifted my mindset. Even when I don't expect it, it still shows up, even if I don't necessarily need it or want it at the moment. I think it's taken me like a few tries with my mental diet to get to this certain level when it comes to money or like finances in general. But just with like examples like this with my client, you can make that change in your mindset to get these results. You can, like, this is something you can learn to do that's not necessarily difficult. She, for example, learned, she was able to shift her mindset within like 2 months. And it's been paying off for her because now she gets nothing but like constant money flowing in. She gets like, I think the other day she was telling me about a new job offer she got. And yeah, things like this can happen. Just keep working, keep persisting on your mental diet, your thoughts. Always see them in the favorable outcome. Hello. If you see me look down, I'm looking at your questions on my phone. Hello. Thank you. I just hit 2K today. So if you're having money issues, one, I'm going to recommend that you no longer identify with having money issues. Whenever things that come up that seem like an issue, I would say look at it for what it is. Don't give like a major reaction and switch your mindset. Tell yourself, this is fine. Money is abundant in my reality. Constantly, money is flowing to me. I always get what I want. Money loves being around me. Money is always there for me. Make it seem normal to you. The best advice I can give anyone when you're manifesting anything is the more normal you can make something seem, the easier it will flow into your life because it's natural, it's expected. Um, I've had a few clients still manifest even through depression. A lot of the times it is a little bit more work that you have to do on your part in regards to like persisting, but then again, I don't personally know you, so I don't want to give that like that title to everyone where it's equally as difficult for everyone, because it's not. um but yeah, just persist. I know there are going to be days where you just don't want to. Persist. I know there are going to be days where you just don't want to, but this is where like the discipline part comes in, right? And a couple tricks you can try for someone who is, depressed, or someone who gets depressed very often, is, I think, setting it and forget it. And, going about your day when you make an assumption or an affirmation is something that could really work for you. Reason is if you make an assumption or you affirm for something and you do something else, 9 times out of 10, you won't allow your mind to bring up something against the intention or manifestation that you're trying to bring in. Setting it and forgetting it works best in these scenarios, the because you tend to get more like sad about something or upset. um, your manifestation isn't in a way a target of that. So by you setting it and forgetting it, you allow yourself to just allow it to happen naturally, and it's coming when it comes. I hope that made sense. I have written my old story more than once, and also when I am sad, I write it and burn it, and I feel better. But now, when I do it, I still feel the same negative feelings even after writing an old story. So it's gonna be a matter of persistence at this point. It might not happen all at once, which, even for me, when I'm manifesting something new, it doesn't happen all at once. I find that it takes consistent persistence to make my desires happen. So if you've been, writing out the stories and then burning them, well, after you've done this, how, check in with your mental diet. What are you thinking outside of, your manifestation? Are you going against your desires? Do you feel like it's not happening fast enough? Are you doubting? All these things we have to take into account whenever we are manifesting anything. Hello. Do my negative thoughts have to be manifested before I successfully manifest the new story, or can I unmanifest it immediately? That whole like narrative that bad things have to happen before your manifestation happens, like the purging, I find that I unlearned that. When I was very new to my manifestation journey, that was something that I constantly always dealt with because I just thought it was normal. I thought that every time I had to manifest something, that something bad had to happen before my manifestation actually happened. And then the more educated I got on, metaphysics and manifestation, it really is not the case. You do not have to experience bad things before your manifestation. I completely now don't ever go through like purging stages. I don't go through like negative things happening before I actually manifest. Remember, manifestation is you make all the rules. Your rules are what go in your reality. So if that's not something you want to experience, then don't. My name is Ishmael. Elmer is a someone who is also a YouTuber here, and so people constantly see him sometimes in my lives, and so they'll say his name. How do I assume that it is done? A way that I like to assume that what I want is done is first I affirm, visualize. Then after I've done my affirmation and visualization, throughout the day when I think about my desire, I like to pull up a scene in my head of me interacting with my manifestation. So say I'm trying to manifest a new phone. Actually, that's what I did when I was manifesting the iPhone 13. Say I'm trying to manifest a new phone. Actually, true story, when I was trying to manifest this phone, they like T-Mobile kept telling me that they were sold out. They're not gonna get any shipments for another 2-3 months. In my head, I mean, I was listening to them telling me this, but I kind of was like, yeah, okay, it's my reality. So I persisted. I saw myself interacting with the phone. I saw myself texting people. I saw myself like calling people. I even bought a few cases for this phone. And then lo and behold, literally like 3 days later, I go on the app to see if there's phones available, and there was. So whenever I am trying to assume that my desire is done, I kind of just bring up a visualization of me using or me around the desire. So if it's a car and you're trying to manifest a car, see yourself driving to the movies, or see yourself getting coffee in your car. See yourself with a friend in the passenger. And then when you're in that like visualization, you tell yourself, oh, okay, I have it already. It's mine. And then you just go on about your day without assuming anything negative against what you just did. Hey, I fully believe now that my manifestation will come, but sometimes I get wobbly. What should I do in that situation? Persist. Persist even if you don't know if what you're doing is working. Persist even if you don't see any movement. And persist even when you're like shaky and wobbly and wavering. Persist in a desired outcome. Manifesting marriage with BF, but he almost broke up with me last week. Now I keep getting hot and cold thoughts and lots of anxiety. I did focus on circumstance before, but now how do I keep going? Well, just affirm that you and your boyfriend are now married. See yourself getting married. See yourself with the ring. Imagine yourself like at the wedding, surrounded with all these people that you love. And this is the part that gets people, right? When they start to visualize things and they don't necessarily start to see things happen in the 3D, they kind of get a little bit impatient. Whatever the 3D is doing while you are manifesting, you need to ignore. I know it's not easy. I know it's not like what many people want to hear, but it's not your final outcome. So why would you give more attention to something that you don't want rather than just live in your head and see the outcome that you do like? You know, because the more attention you give to that situation that you don't want in your 3D, the more you continuously manifest it, because you are giving it more attention. Where attention goes, energy flows. So you're keeping it alive. Essentially, you're keeping what you don't want in your reality by you keep noticing it and asking where is it, when it's gonna happen. You know, so you just have to keep persisting, keep telling the favorable story. And if people ask you in the 3D, when is he gonna marry you? When you guys gonna get married? You know, you can just answer with, it'll happen soon. Or some of my clients, they think it's easier to just let other people know around them that they rather just not talk about it and then move on. Do you think manifesting is just deciding what you want and persist? Yes, manifesting is exactly just that. You decide you want something and you persist on the final outcome. and you ignore the 3D and you do not allow doubt to win over your mindset. I just got a manifestation. I drove by this upscale restaurant, thought applying for a position, then I talked myself. Somebody asked me if for a date dinner at that place. Nice. See, manifestation is always constantly happening. I'm manifesting some segments in my life. I don't want opposite happening at all. I feel when I affirm for SP, I'm scared of something wrong. So in your case, I would also recommend just continue to focus on your desired favorable outcome. Don't feel scared about the things that could happen, because the more you give attention to those fears, the more likely they are to happen. Give more attention to what you want to happen and the things that you want to experience, because they will end up happening. Persist in the desired outcome continuously. Don't waver in your thoughts. Have a good mental diet, so whenever any negative thoughts creep into your mind, you want to tell yourself, nope, this is not my desire. I want it to be like this. And then have some blanket affirmations also, that cover a wide spectrum of things. So in the moment when you're going through something, you don't have to, search for specifics affirmation. You can just say something that covers everything, like everything always works out in my favor. I always get exactly what I want, or manifestation is extremely easy for me. Would you ever legally change your name to Conjured Realm? No, I wouldn't. I think I like my name. It's a good business name. I also tried manifesting a call from someone. It was very positive, didn't happen. Why? A lot of the times you could be doing everything correct, but also there are like time lags. So just because something didn't happen immediately doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. Can you guys hear me all right, or is my mic acting weird? Okay, thank you. Hello, welcome to my live. Affirmations to manifest marriage with SP. I love being in a happily committed marriage with, and then you put your person's name. SP loves being married to me, and then I have such an amazing marriage with an SP, and you just persist in that. My SP doesn't reply to my messages. What should I do? Visualize him messaging you, and then affirm that you guys have constant communication. And then once you start this process, if it doesn't happen immediately, I want you to continue to persist. Continue to persist until something does happen. Don't get worried if it doesn't happen within 1 to 2 days. Just know that your thoughts are creating a manifestation in the background. So until that shows up to you, whatever they are not doing in the 3D, you will have to ignore and be sort of delusional until it does show up. Yes, I will make a video about manifesting in 3 days. Within 3 days. if I'd like to manifest my dream job, can I just affirm and it will appear by itself, or should I actively do something for that, aka take action in the 3D things? You can, well, I personally would affirm that I love my new dream job. I love the the pay that I have at my dream job. I love the people at my dream job. I would use those affirmations, and I personally wouldn't take action. I wouldn't take action until it like until I came into a situation that was like where I really, 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 really had to take action. Like for example, if I was manifesting for a new job and I went to go eat somewhere and someone like offered me like this amazing spontaneous job on the spot, then I would take it. But if it's like if you're led to put in applications, if you're led to go somewhere specific, that's fine too. I'm not saying one is better than the other, but what I personally would do is I wouldn't take any action in the 3D. But if you're led to do those things, then that's fine. As long as you know that your outcome is like definitely yours, I would say anything you do in between really doesn't matter. When I visualize, sometimes I get sad when I don't see it in the 3D, but I don't want to give up on my desire. Should I affirm against the circumstances or just live in the end? I would live in the end. I would live in the end and work on my mental diet. What is a mental diet? A mental diet is the things that you tell yourself about your manifestation when they come up in your mind. So, say you're manifesting for marriage and your logic brain wants to say that you're not married, this person doesn't like you, they don't want to be with you. Your mental diet, essentially, you will have to filter those thoughts with, I am married, this person loves me, I'm in a happily committed marriage with my partner. And you have to do that consistently. Do it consistently without ever doubting. Well, I'm not going to say don't ever doubt, again, because I teach people that you can doubt, it just depends how much you're doubting. If majority of the day you are not doubting and you are telling the favorable story and living in the wish fulfilled, then you can still manifest even if you have moments of doubt. How to manifest fast? Like, it's been over 3 weeks, I'm trying, but I need my stuff quick. Please tips on speeding up. So the quicker you can get into the wish fulfilled of you already having your desire will determine how fast your manifestation happens. How fast you can get into that that state. It's not something I really can tell you right off the bat because it's different for every single person. Some people, like for me, I can literally just say I intend I don't know. I don't want to say it because my mind is so like trained that whenever I say I intend, whatever comes after will happen. I don't know. I intend to get free coffee. There you go. So that will now happen within 1 to 2 days for me because I'm just so trained in my in my mindset and having no doubts that my brain is like, okay, we have proof of this actually happening within a short time span. So now let's get it to happen. I don't really have that much resistance anymore when it comes to manifestation. Something that can help you with this, honestly, is really trying manifesting things that you don't really care about, manifesting constantly, always practicing, always using your visualization skills, always affirming until you have so much proof that now your logic mind has no way of telling you that this is not real. I feel like visualizing an ideal life is like tapping into another you in a parallel reality. Yes, in a way, it it is another method that I keep in mind whenever it is that I'm manifesting. Only because, if you guys know, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So if you think about it, if nothing can be created nor destroyed, there has to be a different reality where we're experiencing whatever it is that we want in another, I guess, realm. And so knowing that I have whatever it is that I want somewhere else kind of brings me comfort into knowing that I can just pay attention more to that reality and just bring it over to here. Do you recommend sticking to a certain number of affirmations? For example, 2 to 3 for SP, 2 to 3 for self concept, or even less, or does it not matter if you use more or change your affirmations? I will always recommend 2 to 3 max affirmations per desire. That's just me personally, because I tend to get overwhelmed trying to remember so many affirmations when it comes to my manifestations, that I personally get overwhelmed. But if you're someone that doesn't get overwhelmed with the wording and all that, then by all means, you can do more. It's just I try to look out for like the majority of people that are like me with my like my clients, and so I always tell them 2 to 3 per desire. And it doesn't really matter if you change your affirmations as long as they imply the same outcome. I manifested a new job, although I'm starting to hate it. Should I manifest another job or manifest the job I have right now to be easier? You can do either or, to be honest. I don't want to tell you what to do, but both outcomes are doable. Your lives are so relaxing. I already manifested constantly everything I desire, but it feels nice to keep in checking what to do. Yeah, I agree. From time to time, I will pop into some of the favorite YouTubers that I have who do manifest. Hi, how do people go from delusion to manifestation? Well, delusion is basically living in your mind as if you already have whatever it is that you want. So if anything in the 3D happens that contradict what you're telling yourself in your mind, you just shake it off and tell yourself, nope, it's mine already. I have it right now, it's mine. I'm experiencing it right this second. But really, what you're seeing is what's happening in your mind. Does taking effect in the 3D negatively affect or delay our manifestation? Sometimes it depends. Like if I'm manifesting for someone to text me, sorry, I like drank a whole bunch of like soda water, sparkling water, and I am just burping today. Where was I? Does taking action in the 3D negatively affect or delay our manifestation? So, okay, it depends. Because if I'm manifesting a text from someone, I wouldn't necessarily text them first. You know what I mean? I wouldn't constantly like blow up their phone so I can get a response from them, trying to force the 3D to give me what I want. Because 9 times out of 10, you're not doing it with good intention, and you could be met with like an unfavorable outcome. I always take the path of least resistance. So the less I have to do, the happier I am. My method and my ways of manifestation are very, very lazy. I like things to be super simple. I like things to be very effortless, very easy. So I tailor my manifestation life to be and reflect these kinds of ways. I know some people like to do more, some people like to do like be extravagant, but me, I just like to be simple, easy, straight to the point. Give me what I asked for, and that's it. regards to scripting, does one need to constantly read the entry or only when I feel led to? You can do whatever it is you feel comfortable with. Me personally, when I'm scripting, I tend to read over my entry a couple times a day. You are obviously on some substance right now. I can see it in your eyes. I am not on any substances. Why do my eyes look weird? I read The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, and it says that trying to manifest and force your mind too hard, it can lead to opposite of desired outcome. Is that true? In a way it can, because the more you try and force something into the 3D, the more resistance you build up when it doesn't happen exactly how you want it to happen. So that is why I tend to just let it come naturally to me. Do you use subliminals? What's your opinion on them? I don't use subliminals. I did use them a couple weeks back, and they worked really good for me. I used them when I was falling asleep, and I manifested within like a couple days. I think they're amazing. If I want my SP to detach from a certain hobby, can I affirm for that to happen? And it will happen. Yes. If you want them to do whatever it is that you want them to do, you can affirm for it. The world is your oyster. You can literally manifest anyone to say, act, be however it is that you want. I personally take up the mindset of people don't have free will. I'm not going to go into it because I noticed that when people do go into this, the comments go crazy. If you want to believe people have free will, that's your prerogative. I personally don't think people have free will. You manifested my life. Well, see, here I am. I want to move to the United States to start a new life, but it's hard to affirm and stay positive while the economy is falling apart. You can affirm for money being abundant in your life. Manifest for you to have amazing opportunities to travel to the United States. See yourself in a state here in the U.S. that you like. See yourself in a nice place, in a nice home, surrounded with good people, and just persist in those thoughts, and eventually you'll be led to an opportunity that takes you to where you need to be. When manifesting something, how do you recommend we manifest it? Should I just repeat affirmations over and over again? It depends on your style. I like to use affirmations accompanied with visualizations. Rarely I'll do scripting, but for visualizing and affirming, I'll do them a few times throughout my day as I remember about my desire. Some people like to affirm, for a minute straight. Some people like to affirm a few times in chunks throughout their day. Essentially what you're doing is the repetition. However long you want to repeat a affirmation or visualization for throughout your day, that is basically what you are doing to bring about your desire. But stick to a method that you feel comfortable with. I've been having anxiety spirals the last week too, but I've noticed that I've been getting out of them more quickly than before. Does this mean I'm getting more in the state of fulfilled? It can. It can mean that you're settling in with the feeling of your desire is already here, therefore the anxiety just goes away. How can I be in God state? For me personally, I think God state is the state in where you know your manifestation is inevitable. And I don't know about anyone else, but for me, I've been able to reach this type of state only through practice, only through having so much proof in the law that I no longer doubt whatsoever. So whenever a desire I need to happen in my life, it usually happens fairly quickly. Subliminals are so good. I use them while playing video games. Yeah, subliminals are amazing. I was so like I was sleeping on them for the longest time, and then I used them, and like they're amazing. Can you give us the name of the content creator for the subliminals you use? Yes. Actually, let me see if I can do that now. One moment, please. Okay, so the person that I used, I'm not sure if it's a girl or who runs this page, but it's called Rosemary Subliminals. What drew me to her was like her artwork on her like subliminal videos. Yeah. So I use that. And then there's another one I was using. One second. And then there's another one called Cape LSU, and then Cape is spelled with a K. KAPELSU. So those were the ones that I used. Yeah. Those were the ones that I used, and I had really good success with them. So you can check them out and see how they work for you. How can I manifest if everything around me is opposite and not a single thing is in my favor? You manifest by not paying attention to the things that are not going in your favor. You're conditioned to see things that are not in your favor, which is why you see them very often. If you were to affirm that everything is constantly going in your favor and ignoring the things that happen in your 3D, the more you repeat those things and the more you visualize a desired outcome, the more your subconscious will have to match how you feel inside. And eventually you'll get to a point where things start working out for you. You get your desires, you start to manifest easier. And that's basically all you have to do. And how can I know if I force mine too much or not affirm enough? How you know you're forcing your mind too much is if you're constantly always worrying about, did I affirm enough? Did I visualize long enough? If you're catching yourself asking yourself these things and you're, I think, stressing yourself out a little bit and you're doing a little too much. If you feel comfortable just affirming 5 times and then like a little small clip of your visualization interacting with your intention or desire, that's enough. If you say it's all possible for me, it is possible to bring you this energy and bring. You're welcome. Remember, you can have anything you want. The only thing stopping you is your mindset. And how does taking action and effort tie in with manifesting the big impossible dreams and desires? Well, it depends. Some people believe that by them doing something in the 3D, it will lead them to their manifestation. They're not wrong, because whatever you assume is what has to happen. So if you think that by you taking action, taking on more work, talking to more people, you'll get to your dream life, or you'll manifest the big things that seem impossible, then yeah, it'll still happen. But know that it's not necessary. You can have these big impossible dreams happen even if you did nothing, because you will be propelled naturally to do something that leads you to your manifestation, even if you don't know you're doing it. How do we not doubt the law, or that no one has free will, or that we will get what we want? I often worry about the how when looking at 3D. Practice. You can practice by intending, small things you don't care about. Like, I don't know if you saw in one of my posts earlier last month, like I was manifesting a blue giraffe. You can manifest 3 cups of coffee. You can manifest someone saying hi to you. You can manifest like green hippos, blue butterflies, things like this that are so specific that when you see them, you know that you're doing it. Do this enough time to build your confidence, so on the days that you're worried about if manifestation is working or not, you have these things to back up your mind. Um, all right, guys, I may have to end this live early because I am forgetting that I have something. Okay, I'm gonna answer a few more questions. Where was I? I'm gonna try answering someone who hasn't had a chance to get their questions answered. Manifest height increase by a lot in your 20s. You can affirm, I love that I am now, and then you insert the height you want to be. You can affirm, people are surprised that now I am, then the height. You could even just visualize yourself going to get like a routine checkup at the doctor's and them telling you that you grew how many ever inches that you want to, grow. Did you doubt, waver when you first started manifesting? How did you get over it? I did. Actually, I doubted manifestation so much when I first began. It was crazy. I would never have thought I would get to where I am now. But I was just so logical in my thinking that I thought this was all fake. It's not going to work for me. It works for everyone else, but it doesn't happen for me. But I literally did what I told you guys, where I like manifested a whole bunch of small things I don't care about. I did this 25 times. I did it 25 times. And on the very last one, I had no choice but to believe that I was making this happen. And so it kind of just built my confidence. I manifested things I don't care about. And I did it so many times that it just became Like, oh, duh, like I'm doing this. And yeah, you can start there. Whereas that's mainly what I recommend everyone do. Start using manifestation. A lot of people love to consume like information, but we don't do anything with it. You know, start practicing, start manifesting things on your own, start getting in the wish fulfilled of the things that you want, and start seeing your life change. All right, guys, I'm so sorry to cut this live short, but I have a few things I have to catch up on, work related. Anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this live with me. Hopefully, you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Keep manifesting, keep practicing, and let me know in the comments any success stories you may have. All right, guys, happy manifesting.